It must be Tuesday.
Boom, there you have it. Down in sports, we are in the building Tuesday nights, holding it down as we do. I am left-handed at RM Desk on Twitter, which is this right now. You already know the vibes. Over there, High Ceilings, aka Yada Bear, aka Kimbrowski, aka Kimbo Nice, all that in the building. We are here live and direct on a Tuesday night doing what we do.
Yeah.
Listen, um, I'm the old man staying, get off my lawn type thing. You know what I mean? But I really don't really like to give off that vibe. But tonight we got to set the show off. I like to stay in season. When it's basketball season, we talk basketball. When it's baseball season, we talk baseball. But it's all everything's going on at one time right now. So whatever we pull out the hat is what we pull out the hat. The NFL is like standing on business, literally. And as fans, as people who are invested, we love it. This free agency period right here. We usually talk about, oh, we can't wait for free agency. Oh, we can't wait for the trade deadline. Oh, we can't wait for the, and nothing really pops off of significant note. When you get a free agency period like what we're experiencing right now, it's coming so fast. Did you hear about this guy? This guy left. Oh, what? This is what we're talking about when we say a free agency period. Almost a frenzy kind of sort of when you can't keep up with it. Right? Yada Bear's in the building. I'm disappointed because my man, Mike Evans, decided to take his talents to the Bay Area and go to San Francisco. A lot of moving, shaking, and popping going on. Geno Smith found his way back to MetLife Stadium. I hope he keeps his guards up in the locker room this time. You know what I mean? On top of everything else is going on. Yeah, did you catch that one, Brasky?
Yeah, I caught
Yeah,
it, yo.
yeah.
Again,
I hope he keeps his joints up in
he
the
better
locker
be
room.
on guard. He better
Yeah,
be on
man.
guard.
We both, Browski with her Eagles and myself with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, we suffered losses during this free agency period. Again, nobody's safe. You see the Super Bowl MVP went to Kansas City, right?
Yeah.
A lot of things happening going on. Browski's in the building. Talk about it a little bit because I know you lost a couple of people, but you gained some people. Um, your your melanin deficient connect. One of them left.
Yeah. I mean, we could start there. We had lost Reed Blankenship, our safety, one of our exciting whites.
Exciting
He has
whites.
he has gone on
Exciting
to
whites.
he got signed to the Texans. He
Oh,
got
that's fun.
himself a little 3-year deal. He got some bread. He wasn't paying that. Also, we lost Kingman Phillips, who we traded for. He went to
Carolina.
yeah, to the Panthers. He got a bag. He wasn't paying for that. And the one that hurts a lot, but we knew it was coming is N'Kobe Dean. We lost him to the Raiders. He got paid. He could have got paid a little bit more, but I think because of the injuries that he has had in the past, and you know, ever since being drafted, he has missed significant time, but also worked his way back onto the field each time. Um, but those were losses that we expected to happen this year because guess what? We can't pay everybody, and we have a problem that a lot of teams don't have is the fact that we draft well and we draft for the future. And in the Kobe Dean case, again, him being injured, him being out, significant time last year, kind of forced our hand to draft Jahad Campbell as his replacement. And it turns out that, hey, Jahad can play. He's healthy. He's going to be cheaper. And unfortunately, Zach Barn. continued to play great, after his all pro season. He followed the second season with another great year. So N'Kobe Dean was the odd man out. Much respect to him. We will always love Philly, Georgia Bulldogs. Um, I respect the fact that he got a similar offer from the Cowboys, and he said, "I can't do that. It's not in my heart. I can't go to the Cowboys." And I'm looking at you, Christian Parker, for trying to snake our guy. And he said, "Oh, I bleed green. I can't go to Dallas. No problem. You can go to Vegas, and salute to the Raiders for giving my man a chance and seeing his potential and seeing his talent. He does play like a Raider. I can see him going to the Raiders. It wasn't like a far fetch to me. I think it's a good fit for him and for his play style, and hopefully he succeeds there, like he succeeded here. Um, so day one of free agency, we took some losses. Jahad Doxson signed a 2-year deal to go to the Falcons. Salute to him. He did a lot of cardio for us here. He made catches when he was target when the ball was thrown his way. So no love lost there. We're not hating on the fact that these guys moved on. We expect to lose people every year, but the core is still here. We made a great signing of extending Jordan Davis. He definitely earned that contract. Last year he really balled out. Right now, how he's working with Jalen Carter to get an extension, for him. We just signed Tariq Woodland
From Seattle. Yeah.
from
Hmm.
Seattle. Excellent addition. That right there now stops all the talk about who's going to be our second corner, a position that we was terrible at last season because we dropped the ball. We didn't realize that Keely Ringo was going to be that bad. He was unplayable. So now
Oscar
that
just made a word. He's
solidified.
playable.
Hey, that solidified our secondary. Quinyon on one side, Roland on the other side. We still got Coop as our nickel. And now, we'll probably look to maybe draft a safety in the later rounds. A lot of people was kind of confused and a little mad that Jalen Phillips, signed somewhere else because we used a third round pick to trade for him. But we get these things called compensatory picks, and we got our third pick back. So it wasn't really anything lost. We got four of those picks. So it wasn't a big loss. Free agency just started. So how we got some more moves to make, and we'll see where we go from there. Um, the biggest name that, you know, was moved during free agency, was the guy that everybody was looking for to grab onto, which is Max Crosby. He ended up going
Why am I
to the
hearing
Eagles.
that? Why am I hearing that the Ravens backed out of it?
I didn't hear anything about that. I heard that he's now he. I believe he's there. I believe they had like a press conference already with
The
announcing it.
Ravens have backed out of our trade agreement for Max Crosby. We will have no
Really,
further comment at this time.
I didn't see that at all. They
That's from
talked about that
that's
today.
from that's from Adam.
Oh, I just read it. It just popped
Yeah,
up.
yep. The Baltimore Ravens.
Oh, oh wow. So Max Crosby is still out there. Uh
He might want to go back and play for the Raiders. Hey, listen.
oh. He might want to, or maybe he don't want to go to Baltimore. That's wild right there.
Yeah.
I haven't really seen anything like this in the NFL. That's more like an
It
NBA thing.
says the Baltimore Ravens have backed out of our
Ah,
trade. So it's not on the Raiders end, it's the Baltimore
so
Ravens.
Oh, so the Raven, maybe the Ravens realized that two first round picks is crazy because I said that too. I said I would give a first and probably a third and
Somebody
maybe a player.
somebody said, "Yo, Mark Davis, what are you doing?" Mark Davis, what are you doing?
Yeah, absolutely.
Wow, that's
No,
that. It just came across as we was coming on. It just came across
yeah,
the
like that's
Ravens.
crazy. I never seen, like I said, that's more of an NBA move to me. Someone backing out of a trade.
So
So
we don't play the speculation game over here, but why would you think that the Ravens? I mean, you just kind of said it. Two number ones. That that'll
uh,
make you know. But
um,
again, Max Crosby, like the biggest name out there, is supposed to be signed, sealed, and delivered to Baltimore.
listen, I'll say this: if the Eagles make a play for Max Crosby, I will be ecstatic, right?
Look at
But
this. Look at
but the
this.
one thing I'll say about certain defenders, like defensive players out here, is that a lot of these guys don't equal wins. As great as Max Crosby is, the Raiders has always been
The
talented.
Ravens.
This is same thing I said about Miles Garrett. He's amazing. I would love to have Miles on my team, but for the Browns to constantly throw big contracts at this guy, he don't equal wins. You're still the Browns. You're still bad. So you overpaying this one guy all this money to lose. And then I gotta look at the player like, so you chose the money over winning. Like the money will come, but you are at the height of your career and you'd rather stay on this losing team and continue to lose. So I'm definitely gonna keep my eye on this Max Crosby situation to see what happens if we get any more information. But that's crazy. I've never seen a team back out of a trade unless, they figure two first rounders. I don't know,
Yeah,
you know?
that's a little bit much. You know
Yeah,
what I'm saying? That's a little bit much. Actually, it's two first rounds is a lot much.
yeah.
Two first rounds is a lot much. And again, if the Ravens had plans on not winning, you know what I'm saying, Kimmy? So like, a 26th, 27th, 24th, 25th, like that. Ah, but the
Yeah.
Raiders had, I mean, excuse me, the Ravens had plans on, trying to make something happen and competing. Then,
Two
two
first
first rounds?
rounds is crazy. I mean, I thought it was a little
Yeah,
crazy, but I said, you know what? If this is the guy that you want, I see the position that the Ravens are in. Real tough division. Ravens is a defensive minded squad. Maybe with the new regime there, they figured I don't want to spend all our cap and all our money and all our draft bringing in one guy. Maybe they want to build within the draft, or maybe they see a more a need that they need more than this because they just like they center. He went to the Raiders. He got a
yeah.
deal with the Raiders.
Tyler
Um,
Linderbaum.
yeah, it's like that's a big move, a big loss. Looking at the fact that you have a mobile quarterback and a Lamar Jackson who constantly get hurt because of poor offensive line play. You have a running back and Derrick Henry, you know, and now you let your center, who was one of the best offensive linemen that you had on that line, that was ridiculous, go to the Raiders. So maybe they're looking for
So he so he
more
could
money.
block Ashton Genty.
Yeah, exactly. So maybe they looked at the draft and was like, you know what? I need to use this first round pick on the offensive line.
Should we send? Should we send Yada Bear down to the Atlanta Falcons training camp this summer so she can witness firsthand the battle of not one, but two left-handed quarterbacks,
Oh my God.
Mike Penix and Tua Tagovailoa, right? Um, somebody made a dummy move. I'm not gonna say no names. I'm not gonna say no names. Malik Willis went to Miami Dolphins. I like that.
I love it.
I like it for different reasons because I don't get into the people seem to forget or people don't know. Malik Willis is nice. He was supposed to be
Right.
that guy in Tennessee, but it didn't
They
work
gave
out.
up. They gave
But
up on him.
yeah, they gave up on it. He definitely showed that he could play in pressure situations, make big throws, make big plays. So again, him doing that and making a name for himself just bigs him up, and he got to the bag. He got to the proverbial bag. He's going to be down there in Miami, and hopefully they could work some things out, and he can make a go of it there.
Yeah.
Um, Atlanta with Tua, and now Michael Penix. I don't know.
I
You know,
mean, it's the classic line. If you got two quarterbacks, you got no quarterback. And they still have no quarterback. So so actually they have three quarterbacks because they still have Cousins is still on the roster, but he's going to be released soon. So now you got two left-handed quarterbacks, two left-handers that's around the same age. One been in the league a lot less than one. Both always injured. Um, two ACLs, Tua with the multiple concussions, his brain is scrambled. Um, you got a new coach, a new system, same problem. Still have the same problem. Um, Instead of rocking out with Michael Penix because you know drafting him in the first place was a mistake. Let's start there. That was a mistake when you just signed Cousins to $100 million contract, and then with the first round of the second pick of the draft, you turn around and you
wait.
draft an
Ah,
old
wait.
rookie quarterback with multiple knee injuries just because he had a lightning in a bottle year with Washington.
Right. Let's go,
You
Browski.
think, oh, he's the guy I need. Even though I just spent $100 million on Cousins, I have a running back, I have a tight end, and I have a receiver. You know what? Instead of getting, I don't know, an offensive lineman to help open up holes for my star running back, to keep my $100 million quarterback standing upright, or
Let's go.
I
Let's
don't know, maybe I can get another receiver to go on the other side of Drake London to help spread the ball down the field because I don't know what I got with Kyle Pitts because at the time he was playing like garbage. So all the focus was on Drake Young, London, and B. John. So I don't know. I can get somebody else on the other side to help spread the ball around. But no, they decided to draft a quarterback to sit behind a guy that paid $100 million for. And then at one point they said, you know what? I don't know if we want this guy anymore. Let's put the kid in. Yeah, please play the kid that you pick at number 7 in the first round of the draft pick after you just
after
gave a
after
guy $100 million to be the quarterback. And then, oh, this guy keeps getting hurt. For real, because his whole college career with two schools, he has been hurt. They thought he had season injuries twice. he had almost a career-ending injury already. So here we go. Another mistake for the Falcons. It's like the Falcons take one step forward, seven steps back. It just seems like that always happened, and now to have Tua there, who knows what's going to happen there? Now you got zero quarterback. Similar situation in Minnesota with them talking about bringing in Kyler Murray, you know, which is crazy work to me when you have J.J. McCarthy. So
Who
they're
they was
telling
in
me,
love with.
yeah, oh, they love J.J. He's the guy. I'm gonna let a man that the Jets told me was trash, who came to your organization, put y'all back on the map. Y'all won what 12 games fighting for the division. Y'all said, no, we're gonna rock with the kid. Peace you out. He goes to Seattle, wins the Super Bowl, while the kid gets hurt again. He comes back. He looks lost out in the field. It's a disaster, and now you talking about bringing in another disaster from Arizona. Another guy who, to me, doesn't seem like he really loves the game of football. He just loves what the game gives him. To not just compete for the starting spot, because you can't just bring Kyler Murray in there, a first round pick, to compete. He's going to want to start. So that's crazy. Um, Free agency, it only been day two, and we hadn't even got half of it, because I got a guy that's sitting over there that got a guy that's been with his team forever, getting 1,000 yards each season, won the Super Bowl, look fire in the creamsicle, but now he decided to go somewhere else. Lev, how you feel about, the departing of your beloved Mike Evans?
Um, you know what? Mike Evans deserved better than this. Our personal opinion is that they ran him out of Tampa. He was supposed to finish his career with the Buccaneers. 16.3 million guaranteed. Seems like they got a good deal. But again, Mike Evans, 32 years old, coming off an injury, shortened season. He had 368 yards in 8 games. If he's still the same player. Now I'm saying if, like I don't know that I haven't watched Mike Evans for the last 13 or 14 years. Get 1,000 yards every one of those seasons. Win a
Hmm.
Super Bowl. Been in competition for many other, playoff situations which didn't come to fruition, but that's okay. In today's day and age, it's a business. So you cannot become attached. This is not the days when you knew that your guy was going to be there for 10 years, right?
Yeah.
I wish Mike Evans the best. But my personal opinion is that, especially after last year, when we started off decent, we finished 8-9, didn't make the playoffs. We had a situation late in the season with 3rd and 28. We
Yeah.
gave up the 3rd and 28.
Yes.
And Mike Evans could be heard audibly on the sideline. 3rd and 28. The coaching situation with Todd Bowles, right? And things of that nature. I've discussed this before on the show. We know why Bruce Arians went upstairs and all that type of stuff. But to put a little sunshine on a rainy day, because it's a sad day that Mike Evans is no longer with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. But you know what, Yada Bear, Browski, Kimbo Nice? Neither is Jamel Dean.
Yeah.
Hallelujah. Praise the Lord in the name of the blood. Jamel Dean is now a Pittsburgh Steelers problem. Slate,
Yeah. Yeah.
yeah, Slate, Kia, Squares, peace to my man Squares. That's your thing. Y'all gonna be watching him get burnt to toast and cuss it out Jamel Dean's or Twitter, which is X now. But yeah, I mean, I think that Mike Evans figured that the best opportunity to win again would be to go somewhere else, get a fresh start, get those juices flowing again. Because again, being in Tampa, 8-9, 9-8, being stagnant in a division that should be ours, we shouldn't really have any problem in the NFC South. None.
Mm-hmm.
We should have no problem. We're better than Atlanta. We're better than Carolina. And we're definitely better than New Orleans Saints. Even though we don't play like it. So that leads to me to believe that Mike Evans didn't want to be bothered or couldn't be so bothered with the nonsense that's going on in Tampa right now with my football team. Stagnant. Nobody knows what the hell is going on, but everybody wants to heap all this praise on Baker Mayfield. What the
Oh,
hell?
they
Baker
said, oh,
Mayfield?
wait a minute. They said Max Crosby didn't pass the physical.
Oh, well.
He said the Ravens get first round picks back after trade voided due to
Mm.
medical reasons.
Stay off for the week.
Oh man, that's wow.
Yeah, Max Crosby didn't pass his physical. Well, so now I guess he's stuck with the Raiders.
After he then said his goodbyes and said there's no ill will and that he wanted to retire as a Raider. Yeah, well, he may be retiring
Well,
as a Raider now.
he can shave off his mustache and come back and say his name is Cax Mosby and play for the Raiders. But yeah,
Yeah.
man, we gotta figure this, we gotta figure this
Wow.
out. What we're doing in Tampa Bay.
Oh
Um,
man.
like you mentioned earlier in the show, I mean, back behind the scenes, he's going to a
Yeah.
situation now where it's kind of like he's plugged in. Brock Purdy, Christian McCaffrey, you know what I mean? The kid, Ricky Pearsall, you know what I mean? Um, and again, I think Jawan Jennings is a free agent. But yeah,
Yeah.
Brosky, this free agency period is off the hook. I mean,
It
it's
definitely
crazy.
is, and this whole Max Crosby situation is wild now because if the Raiders still are looking to trade him, the price has dropped significantly
Significantly.
now.
Hmm.
Two first rounds? No. Maybe a first and a third now. Maybe listen, a first and a third may sound amazing to the Raiders right now. A first and a fourth.
Especially if they're trying to get rid of him. Yep.
Yeah, because to see that he can't pass the physical, meaning there must be something, wrong. I know that he did go out at the end of the year. He was a little angry that they took him out. I don't know, it was something with his back or his shoulder. It was something that he went out for. He didn't finish the season, and he was angry about that. But speaking of like the Steelers, made a great move by acquiring Michael Pittman Jr.
Yep. The
Um,
Colts.
yep. So now they have a wide receiver two alongside DK. Hope they hoping that Aaron resigns. Because that's still up in the air. Aaron Rodgers would do what Aaron Rodgers do best, which is hold a team hostage the entire free agency period, and then at the last minute say, "Oh, okay, I will sign back with you." That's what Aaron Rodgers does. You would think with Mike McCarthy being back there that maybe he'll make his decision a little bit quicker, but that wouldn't be Aaron Rodgers. Also, you have your Super Bowl MVP and Kenneth Walker signing with the Chiefs. That was a surprise move right there, especially knowing that Pat, is most likely not going to be back at the beginning of the season. Travis Kelsey's coming back. No surprise there. Is either him coming back or retiring. I would figure he'll pick retirement after the season that he had. Um, What else we have going on? Oh, David Montgomery, left. Um, wait, what did he go? Oh,
I think he was
he went to Texas. He
yeah,
went to the
okay.
Texans, right?
I think so.
Um, which
And
is
Isaiah
interesting
Pacheco
situation.
went to the Lions.
And yeah, Isaiah Pacheco went to the Lions.
Travis Etienne
Uh,
went to the Saints.
yeah, and now another thing with the Saints, the same question they have every year: what you gonna do with Alvin Kamara? You gonna trade him? You gonna release him? What you gonna do? They've been threatening to trade him for the past 4 to 5 seasons and still haven't made a move on him. They just keep signing back. Um, Now that Max is back available, you have him, Trey Hickinson as the two, marquee signings on the defensive side. Being defensive ends. Um, we had
The Rams got
yeah,
Trent McDuffie and Jalen
yeah,
Watson.
yeah. I was just about to go there. So when I saw the Trent McDuffie trade to the Rams from the Chiefs, in my mind I already seen that, the Chiefs are in like a retooling mode. Like, I won't say like a rebuild because they still have, so many pieces there, but definitely a retooling mode because he was their best secondary. Young. They
Absolutely. He's a
he
premier
only
corner. Yep.
Yeah. So for them
Both
to
of those guys was nice for Kansas City in the back end.
yeah, so for them to trade him to the Rams, who the Rams desperately need help in the secondary. That was one of their weakest points in their defense. That showed you right there from the Rams. They are going all in this season because Matt Stafford's getting older each year, each game. He has back problems.
Ah,
You
that
don't
was
know how long you don't know how long he gonna be there.
that was
People
these games, son.
Listen, people forget that Matt's old. Matt played in Detroit for there in 10 almost 12 years.
Man,
You know, so him going to the Rams is like, all right, Matt, you on borrowed time now. Like you getting down to the
we try
wire.
we try to get you all the weapons and everything that you need. Um,
Exactly.
I think that when you talk about a team knowing their weakness and can go out and get the best of the best, we talk about, well, these teams have Super Bowl aspirations and they want to make it happen. The Rams saw what happened to them last year, right? They know that NFC West is going to be a beast. It's going
Yes.
to be a super beast in the NFC West. It's basically going to be three teams. We're not even talking about Arizona doesn't count doesn't rate at this point.
I
Um,
know.
you can eat it how it's served because you don't
Yep.
rate at this point. It's all about what the Seahawks, the Rams, and the Niners are going to do to each other and for each other. Um, Other moves that were made, the Giants went and got Isaiah Likely.
Well, that's hardball right there. Come on,
No, yeah,
that's hardball.
and they got the fullback
Yeah,
from
that's
Baltimore.
and I heard he was talking about bringing in Falele from the O line, who's terrible. But please bring him to the Giants. I love that for us.
I think that when you talk about wanting to do stuff like that, you got a coach that's going to have brings a winning pedigree. Is exactly what the Giants needed. It pumped some life into what they do and what they're doing. I'm looking at the Giants now. I'm saying, well, damn, you got Jackson Dart, you got the Tyrone Tracy kid in the backfield. You got Malik Neighbors. Now you got Likely as a tight end. What you're going to have on the other side? You get you a couple of guys from the offensive line. You went and got Tremaine Edmonds on the defensive side from the Chicago
Hmm.
Bears. So I mean, Harbaugh is not coming in to go 7-10, right? So
Yeah.
again, I'm having conversations with a couple of my people saying, and here's what I wanted to tell you, Kim. The whispers are not the whispers group. Salute to the Scott brothers and all that. The whispers are that it's going to be about Dallas and the Giants in the NFC East.
It's
It's
all they always say that.
Washington, Washington and Philadelphia is going to be considered past tense. It's going to be about the Giants and Dallas. What are your thoughts on that, Yada
They
Bear?
say that every year. They said it last year too. You remember that? They said it last year too. You know, and the same. You know what happened? Cream rise to the top. You still won the NFC East. The NFC East will still go through Philadelphia. Um, no matter what they do, the Cowboys will always be the Cowboys. That's number one right there. The Giants. Come on now. You got come on Jackson Dart, Cam Scatterboo coming back off of injury.
Mm-hmm.
You still got Malik Neighbors coming back from off of injury.
Mm-hmm.
Um, you know, what I always say about injuries like that, you never come back 100%. You know, a small percentage of yourself is totally different, especially with a guy that athletic, speed. You know how he able to get off the line and get open. Like he's real physical. You know, with the corners. Um, you just gotta see what he look like when he comes back and when that's going to happen. And again, they making all these moves, but what move don't you hear? Offensive line. You play in a division that's very heavy on the defense line. We speak of the Commanders. They just made two moves. They brought in two more defensive tackles. You know, we see the Cowboys. You know, the Cowboys got Quentin Williams
And Rashawn
last
Gary.
year. And this guy, yeah, and this again, they just love trading with the Packers. They just keep trading with the Packers. You know,
Right,
there's no
right,
other
right.
team in the NFL that the Cowboys love trading with, and that's the goddamn Green Bay Packers. They just keep trading with these guys, okay? So
Goddamn good.
here you go. You know, another package trade. So when
Goddamn
these New
good
York
Packers.
fans, these New York Giant fans, keep speaking of how they're going to rise to greatness this year. I look at their offensive line, I still see the same guys there. And then you telling me that I hear whispers coming out of Baltimore saying, "Oh, John's going to bring his guy for Lele." Well, I need y'all New York fans to run tape of Baltimore Ravens and look at Falele play on that offensive line, and you'll wonder why Lamar and Derek was on the sidelines plenty of times last season. All right, so keep
Yeah,
that in
he was
mind.
getting beat like he was getting beat
Yeah,
like he was a
yeah.
juvenile
So
delinquent.
so keep so so
Yeah.
keep that in mind, you New York Giants fan, and remember when y'all come down I-95 and y'all go to the link. We got two beasts there waiting for you. Jordan Davis and Jalen Carter. And then we got a mini beast called Jalen Hunts that's hungry. So y'all better keep that in mind. But we'll
Yeah.
see.
All right.
We will see.
Yeah, I mean, it's good that I think that the NFL, doing what they have to do is business. At the end of the day, these guys want to, make situations for themselves and their families and stuff like that.
Yes.
And again, I feel like if that's take advantage of a situation that's given to you. What do you think about the Jets getting Minka Fitzpatrick?
Um, means nothing. I mean, it's the
That's what I'm
Jets.
talking about. Yeah, yeah.
It means nothing. What it means to me, it just shows you how far Minka has fell from the
Mm.
ranks of being once looked at as one of the best corners in the league to now being passed around. Now you're in purgatory even more with the Jets. A team who did not record not one single interception last season. How is that possible? No picks at all last season. So that move means nothing. Geno Smith going back to the Jets means nothing. He's just another revolving door of cornerback that's going to be there because they still got Justin Fields there. So who knows what's going to happen? Free
Yeah.
agency, you
So
know.
yeah. So again, this first thing of free agency is hitting crazy. Everybody all over the league is doing what they do. The Packers traded with the Colts, and they got Zaire Franklin.
Yeah, that's
Name.
interesting. I didn't see that coming.
Okay, the Bears got Garrett Bradbury from the Patriots, the center. All right, a little bit more
Um, the
protection, I guess.
Patriots also landed Romeo Dobbs again from the Packers, a 4-year deal. Everybody and their
The Buffalo
mom,
got DJ
oh,
Moore.
huh?
Buffalo got DJ Moore.
Yeah, and everybody and their mom kept saying, "Oh, AJ Brown to the Patriots." Remember all that? AJ Brown to this team, maybe
Yeah.
to the Patriots,
Gotta
and
be off the AJ
now they
Brown.
got Romeo Dobbs. So I don't want to hear none of that. Like, we don't know what's going to happen, but it's definitely ain't no AJ Brown, and um, the Packers are just sending everybody packing. The Packers are having a fire sale. Like, if I was a Packer fan, I would be a little concerned. Like, all right, so we're giving everybody up. Dobbs, Gary, like who else are we gonna give up? Green Bay. It's like a fire sale over here. Um,
Yeah, I
so
mean they trying to figure it out.
so
Go ahead.
and it's still early, so it's be a lot more. We probably get a couple
Yeah,
more
absolutely,
breaking
absolutely. We'll be
news,
talking about this.
and,
Absolutely.
and, and we may not see nothing else really big until the draft. You know how the draft is.
That's what I wanted to throw a couple minutes on that, Brasky. In regards to the draft, I think another thing I wanted to mention in regards to this free agency period, um, the situations that you had set for yourself before free agency, in regards to the draft, you got to
Hmm.
start all over again, start from scratch, because a lot of teams probably filled their needs through free agency.
Yeah,
So now they can kind of like, I don't want to say reevaluate their draft situation because everybody and their mother knows that Fernando Mendoza is going first. So that
I
changes nothing.
mean, I
But
mean, I'm still not sure about that now.
yeah,
I,
yeah, I
I,
am.
I
I think Fernando Mendoza is going to go first.
if I'm the Raiders, I don't know
They
about
bet
that.
they better take Fernando Mendoza first.
I don't
I
know.
think I think they're going to take Fernando Mendoza.
Yeah,
What do you
I
see?
mean,
What do you think?
if I'm the Raiders, I'm trading that pick because next season draft class is going to be better at quarterback. You
Uh,
know, I
I
I just
mean,
I feel like this Fernando guy. I feel like it might be a flash.
mm,
I'm not truly convinced, but
okay.
if I'm the Raiders, I might trade that pick. But
Mm.
I just it just them and quarterbacks. It, it seems like it don't fit. It don't work out for them. I'm not sure about this kid. I'm not really sold on him.
All right, that's what it is. So we're gonna move along, man, because we talked about this draft thing, and here's Browski's second favorite part of the show when we talk about what's going on in these conference tournaments.
Woo wee!
Get really really spicy. I watched Texas handle South Carolina.
Me too.
Texas looks like they're not playing around.
They are
UCLA
not.
looks like they're not playing around. UConn looks like they're not playing around. Um, Again, Selection Sunday's coming up
This Sunday.
this weekend. It's going to be very, 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 very interesting to see where the teams are placed and ranked in regionals because all the regionals are going to be good. All four regionals are going to be good. I think this season, this year, the first four, the teams
Yeah,
that play, that they do what we like to call the junior play-in.
yeah,
That's going to be dope because you're going to
yeah,
probably have two teams that probably had a great season but didn't make the cut and now
yeah,
playing for the, you know what I mean? LIU. Well, now LIU is in. They punched their
yeah,
ticket.
yeah. They did.
Strickland, absolutely, yeah. So you know what I mean. So again, Duke dealing with a lot of injuries right now.
Yeah,
And again, I don't know which one of these teams would really want to take full advantage. Because you got so many out there, Browski. You know what I mean? From what we got Houston, we got Arizona. You know what I mean? We got a whole bunch of teams out there that can make an argument that they're among the best in the country. St. John's. You know what I mean?
Michigan,
They're
Florida.
Michigan, absolutely. Let's go, Kim. You know what I mean? So again, I remember once upon a time, maybe it was about two tournaments ago, when somebody on this panel,
Oh my
I
God,
don't know,
here we go. Here we
somebody on this
go.
said that the women's tournament was going to make the men's tournament look like nobody wants to show up. And you know what? I'm not mad at that. Let me finish my thought. I'm not mad at that. I'm just going
Uh-huh.
to say to that. The men's tournament is going to be good, but the women's tournament, I think, is going to be more interesting
Yeah.
because how much respect are they going to put on Dawn Staley's name?
I mean, you
And you got a whole bunch of up and comers that's coming for the crown. Can't forget about Kim down there at LSU, what she got
yeah,
cooking down there.
yeah.
You know what I mean? So again, like I want to get your thoughts on that, yo. Like, how are you feeling coming up to Selection Sunday and how these regionals and your early look at a possible Final Four maybe.
Man, I like um championship weekend was crazy. The SEC never disappoints. Never disappoints. Um, the South Carolina LSU game was really good. Um, there was a lot of
Mm-hmm.
drama. Malaysia Fulawali playing against Dawn
Mm-hmm.
Staley, former team. LSU and South Carolina amazing history, back and forth. Always looked at as the two best teams in the SEC and also in the nation. But then you turn around and, within the last like 2 to 3 seasons, Texas has been cooking up something and now it's coming to fruition.
Mm-hmm.
Madison Booker, absolute bucket, crazy, crazy bucket right there. So, despite South Carolina losing to Texas, I still see them as a number one seed. You
Oh
know,
yeah, South Carolina. Okay.
yeah, I still see. I got UConn, of course, number one overall seed. Um,
UCLA.
UCLA at number two, Texas at three, South Carolina at four, LSU at five, Vandy at six. Um, you could probably swap Iowa and Duke, switch by Michigan, Oklahoma, play Ohio State.
What about Iowa State?
Yeah, Iowa State,
What about TCU?
TCU, Louisville. Like, so there's a lot of teams, but
Right.
the first four
Uh huh.
definitely UConn, UCLA, Texas, South Carolina. Those are the number one seeds. Now, twos you can play around with, and everybody else will just fall into place. But those are the top four seeds, and I can definitely see those four teams going into the final four. Or you can substitute LSU with maybe Texas or South Carolina. I mean, it's going to be really tough. I think each year, I always say that this year is a lot of competition. This year is a lot of competition.
Right, right.
It is, because you mentioned Iowa State. They can turn it on at any time. Ali Cooks is the biggest mismatch in any matchup against any team. And I just don't know if there's a team out there that's going to be able to contain her for a full game. So it's going to be interesting to see who they match up with in the first round, because you don't want that to be your first round out right there. You know. And then when you look at the men's side, you got a lot of injuries over there
Before
too.
before we start with the men's side, we gotta put some respect on Florida Gulf Coast University.
Yeah.
They
Yep.
are
Go
back
ahead.
in the tournament. Their ticket is already punched. I just wanted to say that. Florida Gulf Coast. Salute. Oh,
Well, I
that
mean, you want to go ahead and
that
go
was
ahead
a
and talk about
that
your
was
Gonzaga, your Gonzaga that's in what, the finals right now.
Yeah, we're
Don't they
playing
play tonight?
West Coast Championship against Santa Clara tonight. And salute to the Gonzaga women who punched their ticket to the tournament.
Uh
But yeah,
huh.
the men's side, Browski, is different. I mean, now everybody's like, oh well, Duke is going through what they're going through. Again, we still have a couple of weeks to go before the tournaments really get settled. The first weekend is coming up soon. Again, it's a lot of teams that could win the men's championship.
Uh huh.
One team that I'm looking at is a wild card that a lot of people don't really believe in. Is a little school in the West Coast Conference. They're playing tonight
Oh
for their
boy.
championship, and maybe a second line, a second seed in the tournament. It's
Oh, a
Gonzaga.
second seed. A second seed.
Yeah, this is Gonzaga season. This is my season to
Oh,
talk about
this
Gonzaga.
this is the season.
Yeah, this is the season with Gonzaga. Um, I have to give my annual speech. I think that we suffered some. Look at this, Broski's. Broski said, "Let me get out of Dodge." We've had some tough losses this season. But again, this team is just as good as any of the teams that you mentioned. I think that Gonzaga can compete. Gonzaga will compete. I think I may have put a jinx on them the last couple of years. I'm gonna let them live and let them do what they do. And if they happen to, move along forward, you already know, Brosky. I already got them in the Final Four. So it's really like three teams left in Gonzaga. That's it. Right. That's the yearly joke on the show. I pick Gonzaga every year to
Yeah,
do stuff in the tournament.
we got them in permanent marker. Damn
Yes,
a pencil or a
absolutely.
pen.
I got
They in
in
permanent marker.
Sharpie ink. Absolutely, in Sharpie ink. Absolutely. Word up. Um, Yeah, so again, it's going to be very interesting come Sunday to see, like Brasky mentioned, where the
Where it
seeds are going
falls
to,
at.
how teams get seeded and things of that nature. And again, even the first four, I want to see who that's going to be, because that's going to be interesting too, because they're going to be battling to try to get into the big dance. You know what I mean? Those are the first four. The dudes is outside. They
Yeah,
can't get in the
it's
show.
gonna be some Asian folks. It's gonna be some Asian folks out there.
Somebody goes, the security said, I'll let one of y'all in.
Only one.
Only one. And y'all got to do what y'all got to do. You know what
Discuss
I mean?
amongst yourselves.
Yes, discuss it amongst yourself. We're going to move on to the NBA. Browski's second 2.5 favorite part of the show. Tyrese Maxey out. Oh, look at this. Why you throw the hair? Why you throw the hair? Why you give him the hair, Browski?
3
What
weeks.
about it?
3
Okay.
weeks.
3 weeks.
So so
We
now
ready
we're
for
back.
playoffs.
Now we're back to the D list, the D squad, the G League squad. Now it's just throw the whole season in the trash. It's done. I got nothing to say about the Sixers.
So sad. Um, I got something to say about him. I think that this injury to Tyrese Maxey again kind of takes the battery out of what the Sixers are trying to do. It wouldn't be so bad if they knew they had the big fella Joel Embiid doing his number. But again, I'm not going to dwell on that, man, because I got my own problems. The New York Knicks, we lost the West Coast trip, not looking so good. We lost to Oklahoma City. We lost to
Yeah,
the Clippers. Again, we don't know who we are, right? So I'm kind of like Browski in the mode of kind of like just putting it in cruise control until the playoffs start. You know, am I looking at home court advantage? Absolutely, absolutely. I'm not looking at anything less than a 3 seed. To tell you the truth, keep it really green. I'm not looking for nothing less than a 3 seed out of this team. Again, this season is kind of has been get it how you live, right? As far as the Knicks are concerned, a lot of things were expected out of this team. The new coach, I mean, we infused some new blood into the situation. The Alvarados and the Clarksons and those guys. We're getting some help from some people on the bench that we probably wouldn't seen if Tom Thibodeau was still the coach. Let's just get that out the way. A lot of people complain about Mike Brown and his coaching style and how he moves and things of that nature. Mike Brown utilizes his bench, right? So again, I'm not mad
yeah,
at where the Knicks are. I'm just kind of like disappointed in us not putting a bigger stamp on who we are. A bigger stamp on, yeah, we're going to be one of those teams that are going to really compete and dominate in the Eastern Conference. I mean, now that Jason Tatum is back in Boston and doing that thing, are we supposed to kind of like cower in our boots now? You know what I mean? This is the time when Karl Anthony Towns really is supposed to show up and make his presence felt as one of the guys that's going to be a stronghold in the Eastern Conference. Do I see that coming? No, I don't. You know what I mean? But again, where we go, anything less than the Eastern Conference Finals is a garbage season. Anything less than the Eastern Conference Finals, because again, Jason Tatum's back, Tyrese Halliburton is not. So we're not even worried about the Indiana Pacers. They won't. They probably won't win 20 games this season. But at the end of the day, it is what it is. We got to figure out a way to get to the Eastern Conference Finals. Figure out a way to get to the Eastern Conference Finals, and we'll be all right.
yeah.
Um,
Especially with Jason Tatum back and so fast, and it's just craziness.
yeah, I mean, but that's them, and hopefully, his legs don't give out on him again in the crucial moment in the playoffs and things of that nature.
Yeah,
You
yeah.
know, so again, I think that the New York Knicks are going to do what they do. Um, where are you at, Browski, personally with the San Antonio Spurs? Are they a hoax or are they solid?
They solid. They solid. They solid. I see them as this year's OKC. Young guys coming together, finding their groove, and really knowing how they learn how to play together as a team. Everybody contributes. Everybody plays defense. Wimby sets the tone both offensively and defensively. And I think personally, to me, they're the team to beat in the league, East or West, because
Okay.
Wimby is just a cheat code on his own. It's ridiculous because he's so good on both sides of the court, and I feel like they may, I don't know, be some rule changes coming in the future because of Wimby. Like I feel like he's one of the guys that they're gonna have to change the rule uh, for because he's definitely out there just putting on a show, putting on a clinic each time he's on court. It's almost unstoppable. It's crazy sometimes. Sometimes it looks unfair, but what you gonna do? You know
Yeah, what you gonna do?
exactly what you
You
gonna
know what I
do.
mean?
Stop him.
So again, I feel like when you talk about San Antonio Spurs, they're young, they're flashy. Hopefully, they can grow together. They got a lot of guys that want to play the game. They want to play with Victor Wembanyama. They want to prove that they're worth. They want to prove that they belong. You know what I mean, on a team that is consistent, that's young, that's hot, that's flashy, that's fly, that's fun and again, hopefully they can, do what
Yeah.
they do. But again, as we know, Kimmy, when them lights come on, when them playoff lights come on, it gets a little different. It gets a little spooky. You know what I
No,
mean?
that's yeah, that's true. Um, but I think they'll be fine. I mean, their veteran presence is De'Aaron Fox, which is wild. These guys are so young, but
Say that one more time, Browski.
yeah, their veteran presence is De'Aaron Fox. Um, People forget that he's on that team because it's so, Wimby focused. But like, I think they'll be fine in the playoffs.
Okay.
I wouldn't be surprised if they win the championship this year. I wouldn't be surprised at all.
All right. Moving right along. Just disregard my Knicks. Just disregard. Just total disregard
Sorry.
my Knicks. Just total disregard my Knicks. That's messed up. Yada Bear Browski. That's messed up. Um, the World Baseball Classic. What's up with Randy Arozarena? All in his
Yo,
feelings.
I thought that was so weird to me. I'm like, why are you in your feelings, bro? This is we're teammates.
Feelings, bro.
Like we're teammates, my man. But right now we're on separate sides. This is friendly competition. I didn't think anything was serious. I didn't think Kyle was like serious like that. Like for him to get that much in his feelings is a little crazy to me. And I think he need to check his feelings. Like it's a little wild. Uh, Play better, okay? Like
He kind of, what you say, Browski? He kind of looked,
play better,
looked
okay?
too much into it.
Yeah,
That's kind of a tradition where they don't speak and things of that nature.
exactly.
And Randy Rosarena, he taught like he thought they was getting ready to fight or something like you know what I mean. He could kiss his behind and shove up his butt and all this. It's
He
crazy.
made it seem like Carl said something about his mother. You
Yeah,
know,
right,
I was taken aback. I'm like, why is this guy so upset? This is the WBC. We're not going to be all chummy chummy. We are opponents right now.
right.
This is a critical game. We're trying to get out the pool as the top winner, as the number one spot.
Mm-hmm.
We haven't beat Mexico in forever. Mexico was 3-0 against us in the WBC. This is a very important game. Imagine us losing to Mexico with this roster, which it would have
Right.
been that would have been the
Right.
headlines
They
everywhere.
they would have to walk back to Florida or wherever
Yeah,
they go to spring
yeah,
training.
that would have been the headline right there. We lose to Mexico with this roster. Um, Paul Skeens, amazing. Like just watching him pitch, it makes me angry that he's a Pittsburgh Pirate. It makes me angry to see that this guy is going to waste all that talent playing in Pittsburgh. And then when I think about this tournament as a whole, it makes me angry that again Tariq Scribble, oh, I'm gonna go back and be with my team for spring training. Then why did you sign up to play here, to participate here? Mind you, you come out and you give up a home run on your first pitch. and then you're gonna run back to Detroit with the tail between your legs. Is that what it is? Because if you would have came out and you still had a good outing, but if you would have came out there and looked like Paul Skeens, would you still be with the team? Because I don't understand this, and again, I hope that in the future they change this. Okay, change this and change the insurance so that some of these players can play. But um, this WBC has been amazing. Um, I mean, I'm up at 5 o'clock in the morning watching baseball. You know
Yeah, I hear you.
what's better than that? That Japan and Australia game was amazing. You know, um, the start pitcher for Australia, McDonald, he pitched a hell of a game. You know, against Shohei, keeping him, you know, striking him out or making him pop up, or making sure that nobody else is on the bag when we come up to the plate. Like that's very important. You know, they had excellent base running. They scored off of an error, um, and then they made a mistake. They came with the bullpen. My man made one mistake, and that mistake went into the stands. And then after that, they just kept going. They tried to come back. They had a little comeback, but Japan, just closed the door on them. So um, that game showed me that Japan is not as scary as we all thought. Because all you got to do is keep people off the bags when Shohei comes up. So you get that 7, 8, 9 hitter out, or that 8, 9 hitter out of there, and the Shohei comes up. He's a home run. All right, it's a solo home run. It's not gonna
One.
kill you like that. So long as you keep those guys off the bags, you're good. Now this Dior team, they having too much fun. It's a celebration after each home run. They got the jackets, they got the chain, they got the dumbbell. It's crazy. The, the freaking lineup. Like you start out with Tatis, then you had Vlad, and then you had Soto, and then you had Machado, and then you had Junior Cabrera, and then you got Austin Wells, and then you got Rodriguez. It's like this. It's ridiculous. O'Neal Cruz. It's like, what are we doing? So I feel like their lineup and U.S. lineup are the two best rosters out there. It's like this is like a fantasy squad roster, and each game is great. I'm enjoying it. I can't wait till we get out of pool play because that's when the tournament really starts. Um, are you loving it?
Absolutely. This is like what it's supposed to be. When we talk about the World Baseball Classic and teams playing more about for their country than the base a major league team that they play for.
Yeah,
This is what makes it exciting. You know what I mean? There's nothing like October level baseball in March.
yeah,
You know what I'm saying? I think that the games are more even. Some people are gonna get beat. Yeah, they're gonna get waxed and things that's what they come here for. You know, but you see the walk off home runs. You see how pumped up everybody is about their country representing. Even when, early in the United States Mexico game, when the Mexican pitcher got out the first inning, they was going crazy. I mean, it was all about that pride, until reality set in. You know what I mean? But I feel like this is what we need sometimes, for camaraderie, and again, it gets these guys started off early in regular season form. So again, when they get back to spring training next week or whatever,
yeah,
they'll be ready, and then a week after that, it's time to go for real.
yep,
So I think that the World Baseball Classic is well, it's well needed, it's well timed. You know what I mean? And this might be the last one that we see for a while because they're going to definitely, renegotiate that in the collective bargaining agreement and things of that nature. So it's going to be crazy, and you hate to keep bringing that up, but it
I
casts a
know.
pall over the 26th season because knowing that as soon as the 26th season is over, it's back to business, man. And again, it's going to be a long time because both sides are standing on their square.
Yeah.
And it's like, King Harris said, they're standing on business. So again, something's going to have to give. Something's going to
Yeah.
have to give. And it's scary, the prospect of not having baseball for, 2 months, 3 months, 4 months, 5 months. They know they go. This is what they're gonna do, Kim. They're gonna get a mediator. Everything's gonna go down to the last minute, to the last second. But this time, there's definitely gonna be a work stoppage. There's definitely gonna be a work stoppage.
Yeah.
Absolutely, no doubt about it. The only question is, Yada Bear, is that how long is it gonna be, and who's gonna blink first?
Yeah.
Players want to continue to get paid. The owners don't want to be jumping out the window. Where does the salary cap begin and where does it end?
Yep.
Oh, since we're on the subject of salary cap, what's up with your man Jalen Rose?
Why you gotta be my man?
That's just a general term, but like for him to say what he said, he was dead wrong, way off base. Way off base, trying to steer the narrative and into a corner that we're trying to really get away from, right? Where everything is race based and there's no and first of all, you don't even know what you're talking about. Those sports have salary caps. There's no salary cap in baseball,
Yeah. Yeah.
which you
I
never
think
even
yeah.
talked about.
Yeah. Yeah. I think yeah. Hockey has a salary cap.
Yeah, they all got salary
Basketball, football,
caps.
yeah, except for baseball.
Yeah,
It's
baseball
time
has
for
no salary
baseball to
cap.
have a salary cap.
And for him to come out the side of and no, I like Jalen Rose. I respect him, Fab Five, all that. I respect him, whatever. But for him to say that goes back to the conversation that we had a couple weeks ago about some people will just kind of like need to stay in their lane. You can talk sports all day long, all you
Yeah.
want. That's your prerogative. But if basketball is your major vibe, then stick to basketball.
Facts.
Baseball is your vibe, stick to baseball, right?
Yeah.
Because, and I go back to even with the Shannon Sharp thing. He's excellent talking about football. But to hear Shannon Sharp talk about baseball, it's a car wreck.
Yeah.
It's absolutely a car wreck. So back to Jalen Rose, you know, you got to be a little bit more informed, homie. Do a little bit
Yeah.
more homework. You know what I'm saying? Now, I'm not trying to come down because sometimes people speak out of turn and out of place, and that definitely was that what that was.
Yeah.
Um, and again, man, not gonna harp on it, but that's been known for a while. That the only really major sport that don't have a salary cap is baseball.
Yeah.
I mean that's kind of common knowledge if you want to rock in these circles.
Hmm.
You know what I'm saying? But
Yeah.
salute to you, homie.
Yeah.
What that? Down in sports, we're in the building. Myself, left-handed at RM That's on Twitter, which is this right now, and over there, like LeBron James with the two slings and all that in his arms.
That's messed up.
That's Yada Bear, aka Browski, aka High Ceilings, aka Kimbo Nice is in the building. Listen, this is Browski's favorite part of the show, where she gets to expound and and trip the light fantastic on a particular topic and subject for as long as she feels like being winded in the building. This is Browski's favorite part of the show. We like to call Get Down on It. What are we getting down on tonight, Browski?
Well, we're gonna get down on more, WBC. Um, a lot of great teams out there. Like we said earlier, there's teams that come in that we expect they have a good outing. And then we had teams that come in that we know that we're not going to get much from. One team in particular, Great Britain. Great Britain is a disaster of a team. Um, not just this year. 4 years ago, 8 years ago, it's it's been a disaster.
He was a Yada Bear.
I mean, from the jerseys, just extremely plain. They look like they just got some letters and just wrote this iron on Great Britain across their
That's
chest.
crazy.
It's just so plain and vanilla, and the way they play. It's like, do we not have that many good players from the UK that's in the league or around other leagues? Like, these are the best of the best of this country. And also, um, I feel like it's kind of low key cheating when you have players that play for certain countries and they turn around and say, "Oh, I'm honoring my mother, so I'm going to play for, I don't know, Venezuela. But last year I played for Mexico. But last year I played for the U.S. So now I'm gonna play for Puerto
It's a
Rico."
transfer portal.
Yeah. So I just think that's a little wild that, like you said, we have like a quote unquote transfer portal in the
He
WBC.
had a fake mustache.
Yeah, I feel like whatever country that you register with in the beginning is the country you stick with.
Right.
So if your father is Dominican, your mother is from Venezuela, you're gonna have to choose one. Pick a side. You
So
can't just say, what, this year I'm gonna play here, but in 4 years I'm gonna play over here.
some of those
Like,
guys, their great grandmother, and that's why they playing on the team that
yeah,
they're on. It's
yeah.
crazy.
It,
That,
it, 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 it is a little
that's
crazy.
wow. They played
Yeah,
on
like,
yeah, they was on Japan.
yeah, like now you play on the Cuban team, and then and then you got the announcers got to find a story and find something like, oh yeah, well, back in the late 1900s they had a bunch of Japanese people come to Cuba to work, and now we have Japanese Cubans over here, and his mother was from Japan, but his father is Cuban, so now he's going to play for the Cuban team. But 4 years ago, he was on Team Japan. Like, what
Right.
are we doing?
Mhm.
Like, no, pick a country and stick with that country. I don't, all this flip flopping is ridiculous.
It's the
So that's what
transfer
I'm getting
portal. They
down
got
on.
the transfer
Yeah,
portal going on in the World Baseball Classic.
yeah,
It's all,
that's what I'm getting down on. That's crazy.
we in the building, man. Browski is killing it. She said it's a transfer portal in the World Baseball Classic. You got dudes that play for Israel one year, they play for Italy the next. I mean, things happen.
Yeah,
Um, what am I getting down on? I'm going to get down on a couple of things. I'm going to get down
okay,
on NFL free agency, and this was a great NFL free agency first couple of days. You gotta, I'm not the dude that always says, "Oh, it's for the greatest in history," and this and that and the third. When you have, again, like I said earlier in the show, when you have so much movement that you can't keep up with it, and it's
yeah,
movement that's consequential. It's not third and fourth string guys. That's another thing, Kenny, that
yeah,
these guys are name players. These guys, you know what I mean? You're
yeah.
not just
No,
moving a
for
bunch
real.
of scrubs around. So that's another part of this particular free agency is going to be it's memorable, And again, we talked about, and this is the stuff that we talk about. You know what I mean? They probably won't talk about it in other shows. They don't think about it. It affects your draft situation because now you kind of probably
Yeah,
patched up that hole that you needed.
yeah,
Example given the Tyler Linderbaum situation to the Raiders. They know they need an offensive line. They know what they got coming in. They know what they got. They need somebody that's going to be come from a championship pedigree. That's going to anchor a line. That's going to block for Ashton Genty. That's going to keep Fernando Mendoza upright. So again, Are there winners and losers? We don't know yet. Because again, free agency is still going on. There's still, situations that need to be dealt with. But I think once we get to the draft, then you start putting it together and saying, okay, now the move they made in free agency, does that coincide with the move that they made in the draft? Did they fill a spot? Did they take care of their needs? So it shouldn't
Yeah.
be any team that's really lacking unless we talk about like Arizona. You know what I mean? Even the Jets, they tried to do something, but we don't know how
Hmm.
that's going to work. But again, NFL free agency, very, very, very interesting. Very exciting. Kept, on point. The phone kept going off. You know what I mean? Like the
Yeah.
black Adam Schefter out this piece. Like I'm just finding out what's going on.
Hmm.
But the second thing I wanted to talk about is in regards to just how the sports needle tends to move with particular stories. Um, Depending on your outlook and how you look at things, you know, a perspective could be that uh, Max Crosby, he wanted out. They was going through the situation with the Raiders all this time. Everybody was saying what they wanted to say and saying what they had to say. The trade goes down, everybody goes berserk. Oh my God, Crosby's going to the Baltimore Ravens. Then it comes down a couple of days later. Oh, the Ravens, backed out the trade. They backed out because Max Crosby didn't pass the physical. So now you got all those stories that you were writing, all those things that you were saying. You kind of got to eat it because it really don't mean nothing now to because Max Crosby's right where he started from. All those plans that you were making for the Ravens defense is going to be anchored by they were going to have a defensive line that's going to be bananas. Nah. So what does the media do with this story now? Who do they shift the blame on? Who is the onus on? What happens to the money and the number one picks and things of that nature? Now a bunch of think pieces are going to come out, right? But nobody's going to say, well, Max Crosby probably knew he was hurt all along. Why would he fail the physical?
Yeah.
Why would the Raiders try to pawn damaged goods off on the Ravens?
Who
Right?
knows?
So I mean that's just the stuff that I be thinking about, y'all. We in the building doing what we do, man. Down in sports, Yada Bears in the house, aka High Ceilings, aka Kimbo Nice,
Mhm.
aka Yadabowski. Um, Before we get up out of here, man, Sunday, make sure you got your pen and your in your pencil and your paper. I got my Sharpie for one team in particular. It's
Yeah,
already
yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
But we'll be here to talk about it. Um, Browski, I was going to ask you about the baseball preview. What do you want to do?
I don't know. We're gonna have to talk about that behind the scenes.
Okay.
Look at the dates
Because the
because I know it's
season
coming up.
starts on the 25th.
Yeah.
You
Um,
know, so I was thinking that I can get your picks, your division picks or whatever, and
mhm.
I'll write something. I'll
Okay.
write, you know what I'm saying? So I'll just get your picks and I'll write something and we go from there.
All
Because
right.
this season is it's just too much on the plate, man. And
Yeah,
I
I
know
got you.
baseball's our thing, and we're gonna definitely talk about baseball and get it
Mhm.
cracking and stuff like that. But we wanted to do a nice preview, as
Yeah.
we do. You know what I'm saying? So again, we'll work it out. Again, get me your division picks and stuff like that, and I'll bang out something, and we'll make it
Okay.
happen. All right.
All right. No problem.
Right here at RM Desk on Twitter, which is this right now. Over there, you got Yada Bear, aka High Ceilings, aka Browski, aka Kimbo Nice. Any last words before we get up out of here?
I enjoyed the game. Tonight, last game. USA. What? Who playing?
Italy.
Italy tonight. So actually should be on right by now.
Yeah, so now, yep. Mhm.
Yeah. Yep.
Absolutely. All right, so that's it, y'all. We're about to call it a wrap. Make it do what it do. We up out of here. Browski don't go nowhere. And we'll talk to y'all next
Next
Tuesday,
Tuesday.
more or less. All right? Y'all be peace. Y'all enjoy the nice weather, right?
Enjoy the game.
Stay out of central booking,
Uh,
all right? And do
bye.
what you do. We're out of here. We'll talk to y'all later.
Peace.
Peace. Peace.